I see the live stream. Like before you attend VidSummit. I mean, you haven't gone live. I see schedule.
Okay, this looks like we're live now.
All right.
And we are live. All righty, creators, let's talk about it. Welcome to our live stream. Welcome, creators.
Hello, thank you.
Hello, VidSummiters. All right, guys. So VidSummit 2025 just wrapped up, and a lot of people are asking the question: was it worth it? Are you guys getting asked that question? Was it worth it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It wasn't cheap. Oh, yes.
It wasn't cheap. No. Awesome. All right. So before we get started, can we just please go around the room? We'll start with you, Sea Queen Brooke. If you can introduce yourself, tell us about your channel and how many times you've been to VidSummit. Was it your first one or are you a repeat attendee?
All right. Hi, I'm Brooke, Sea Queen Brooke. I have a commercial fishing, crabbing, ocean channel, and that was my first time at VidSummit this year with Melissa. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And there was some stuff I was definitely expecting and a lot of really cool stuff I was not expecting. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Nice. Can't wait to hear about it. Mm-hmm. Melissa.
So my name's Melissa Cook, and I have COVID right now. So if I
you're a trooper.
Conference. Anyway,
don't breathe on me. Don't breathe on me.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I have COVID. I am on the Wyoming Jeepers, and I'm starting a new channel called Alaska Tales. So this is my first time at VidSummit, and I plan to go again.
Yay. Nice. Elijah.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Elijah Blau. I'm the founder of the Side Hustler Society. We have a YouTube channel, but it's all about helping people make more money via side hustles so they can take control of their financial destiny. In terms of VidSummit, this year was my third time going, and do I intend on going back next year? I think I kind of have to because people would be looking at me with the meanest side eye if I didn't, so that's yes.
That's right. You got to keep the streak going. You're on a streak now.
Nice.
Yeah. Allison.
My name's Allison Selensky, and my channel is Living Life After 55. And it was so nice to meet you guys at VidSummit. My channel is pretty much about life after 55 and some of my excursions, some of my challenges, living with diagnosis and being an empty nester, and just life's journey. And I met Karen on YouTube Lives. We had a live going, and she told me the week before VidSummit that she was coming from New Zealand to Texas, and I just about freaked out. And I'm like, oh my God. So before the end of the live that Friday night, the week before VidSummit, I was signed up to go to VidSummit, and then I texted her and I said, do you want to come stay with me?
That's awesome.
And she stayed with me. So our joke is every time I start a video now, I go, hey, Karen, what'd you up to?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're in New Zealand now.
Yeah. So it was just like an 8-night slumber party pretty much, wasn't it, Allison?
Yeah, it was great. And yes, I will be going back to VidSummit. I had a lot of people like kind of joke with me and say, well, your new channel, like not your new channel, but like, are you really serious? Like you go? And I'm like, you know what? It was the best thing I did, because since VidSummit, my goal is to put $1 away for every new subscriber. And I'm already up to $42. Because nice. I'm working it. I'm working the channel, I'm working the business, and I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
You're like RuPaul, girl.
Yeah. People are like, oh, you must be really serious. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. I had somebody say, do you miss your crafting? I said, I still do my crafting, but I miss it. She goes to her friend next to me, oh, she's busy trying to be a YouTube superstar. And I'm like, no, I'm busy trying to be me.
Yeah.
Totally. So that's my joke for the week. I'm just being me.
Yeah.
One of the things. Sorry, go ahead.
Go, Brooke.
Oh, I was just saying, like, I can so relate with what you just said. Like, oh, she's just trying to be a YouTuber, you know, and I try to watch a lot of YouTube because, you know, that's how we learn. And Ryan Trahan is always saying things like, oh, don't worry about me. I'm just making a stupid little video. And I'm like, exactly. See, that's the attitude we need to have. You know, don't worry about me. They're just stupid little videos. You guys keep doing your thing. So you got this, girl.
Yeah. You've got this, girl. Okay, Kelly.
Hello, I'm Kelly McDonald. I am a work in progress on my YouTube channel. It's going to be called Mug Life. My children and I love to visit different coffee shops and stuff. And so it's just something fun that we decided to start doing as a little family, and thought, why not put it out there and see what happens?
Heck yeah.
Yep. Love that.
And how are you doing with it?
Well, I now officially, since being back from VidSummit, I do have content that I've started working on. So it is a lot closer than I was last time. But and I feel like VidSummit really helped me figure out even how to get started in it, where I was not sure what to do at the beginning. So it's going to be good, and the kids are excited to be a part of it. And I said, it's just something great for our kids, for my kids and I to do together, and why not share it with other people?
Nice.
Yeah. Totally right. And this
That's
is
great.
really exciting because we've got you with super fresh eyes. You didn't even have a channel before you went to VidSummit.
Totally.
And then we've got people with, you know, several and many thousand subscribers, like on our conversation today. So should be good, guys. Should be good. All right.
Kelly,
we
did a really, sorry, Karen. I just wanted to tell Kelly that when we were at VidSummit, we talked with, his name, I believe, was Elijah also, wasn't it? The Amish gentleman. And
Enos.
he went to VidSummit. Enos. He went to VidSummit 2 years ago without a channel. He didn't have a channel, but he went to VidSummit. And now he has over 20,000 subscribers, I believe. And so it started for him at VidSummit.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you guys remember that guy? The Amish guy who was dressed like an Amish person with the hat on and like the blue shirt. He went up and asked a few questions at the end of some talks. So I must have just been in the talks that he was, because he was bold, man, just getting up there, asking the questions. Nice. I'm like, wow, I'm missing a trick. So next time, we can talk about things that we would do differently next time.
That's a good one.
All righty, guys. So why did you decide to go to VidSummit?
I went to VidSummit because Brooke called me up and said, hey, you need to go to VidSummit with me. Look at this place that we're going to go to and all the things they've done. So, yeah, that's why I went.
So how do you guys know each other?
We know each other from Facebook. Yeah.
We know each other from YouTube and
YouTube.
Facebook.
You're right. And YouTube.
So I have a book that I was promoting. So I started a Facebook group, and every day I was putting something new that was Alaska content, and I found one of her videos and I posted it. And at that time, I always told people that they were the pick of the day. So she knew that I had posted her. So she looked me up and we started liking each other's stuff. And before you know it, we were talking on the phone. And yeah, we talked on the phone for years. But then she called me up and said, VidSummit, you have to come to VidSummit. So yeah, I'm glad I went to VidSummit. In fact, we have a video of her knocking on the door saying, I'm going to get to meet Melissa after all these years.
Oh, I really do.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
That's why I went. And I'm really glad.
That's the first time at VidSummit.
Right.
And we had the slumber party too.
We did.
Nice.
We totally did. We had a great time. Yeah. We were like geeking out about all the things to learn on YouTube. We're like, oh my God, what chat is next? What are your notes? You know, it's so much more fun when you have somebody to bounce it off of like that. Because I went to VidCon by myself, and this was such a different experience to have a friend there, you know, that was really into, you know, something that I was really into. I still, you know, definitely gained things out of VidCon, but I feel like it just heightens it so much more when you're experiencing something with someone that you can like literally talk about stuff with afterwards, and you're discussing it and at depth, you know. before bed, in the morning, at breaks, like all the time. So that just was really the best.
What was VidCon like? Is it this year that you went?
Yeah, I went in June. It was in Los Angeles, and that was my first. So backing up, you had asked, why did you go? I think so. C Queen is a new channel. I had a different channel. I still have a different channel, but as Daryl Eves says, get one channel right first, and then you can, have 5 or 10 more if you want to. So I decided that this was the year for my new channel. I was going all in. So I actually bought my VidCon and VidSummit tickets like last December, because I'm like, if I don't do it now, I'm not sure I'm going to do it. So I'm doing it right now. And I did it. And I've been trying to go, one step forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But VidCon was cool. I liked VidSummit a lot more because there wasn't the fans. It was more creator focused. And, I thought that there was a lot of value to be gained for sure. There were so many good talks and good conferences that you could choose from, but I personally feel like I got more out of VidSummit.
Yeah,
not
that's interesting.
Because of Melissa either.
Yeah. So what is the whole kind of fan event like about VidCon? So like, what does that mean? Like fans and creators are going to listen to talks? Is that what VidCon's
for example,
about?
there was a food court like down below, and so there's all these kids there, which I actually thought was really cool, like especially to like get the audience involved with the YouTubers, so I feel like it was a lot about that also. So there's this gal, she does like murder mystery makeup Monday. Her name's Bailey Sane. She was like the first YouTuber I ever really started liking and watching religiously, and she was gonna be there like meeting fans, like so you could go and like have a couple minutes with her. And I really like had to think about whether I was going to go or not. And I'm like, no, I don't need to go stand in line to see her. But if I ran into her, I'd tell her how cool I thought she was. So there was a lot of that going on. So like YouTubers and people would have their own stores. There was like lines around the like bottom basement level of children waiting to meet their favorite creators. So I thought,
gosh.
Cool. Like, oh my God, what if that line of kids was for me?
Do you know what? And you did not want to be seen trampling kids to get to your favorite creator.
I know.
Right? Okay. That's
I've already done that before. I feel bad about
the 6 o'clock news.
Yeah. Just what do you call it? Yeah, vaulting over some kids. Oh, amazing. All right. Elijah, why did you go? Did you say this is your third summit? Third. Yeah. Why did you come back again this year?
Part of the reason is, like I said in my introduction, I would honestly get the side eye if I didn't. I'm local to Texas. I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
I know.
So it is around the corner for me. And I know a lot of YouTubers locally and nationally, and they would be looking at me like, so I found your channel through your VidSummit review, Elijah. Like, you're not going to be there. I guess I kind of got to go.
Yeah, but you better be out of town if you're not going to be there. Really, right?
Yeah. Otherwise,
you better not be in town.
But I'm being a little facetious. Part of the reason I keep going back to VidSummit really is the networking opportunity, because when we think about it, it kind of ties into what C Queen was talking about. How she went to VidCon, she was the only person there, so it was a different experience versus VidSummit. Content creation can actually be kind of lonely if you're not careful, because there's not too many people you can talk to that understands exactly what you're going through, the problems that you're encountering, and how to solve those problems, and even just to talk about things. Not too many people. And VidSummit is a great conduit to get all these people into one place and just interact with them. And if you can take it a step further and even meet people local to where you're at, because chances are there are some people coming from where you're at too. You can meet them at VidSummit, then y'all go back to your local markets and hey, we all know each other now. Let's keep in touch.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Love that.
Yep. And Allison, sorry.
I think that knowing people really was helpful. The first day of VidSummit, we thought that was a whole day. Both Brooke and I, when we came, we were disappointed when we saw it was just meetups.
Yeah.
And So we decided, well, we're going to go to the meetups anyway, but we were hoping for instruction. We wanted to know how to do things. And so we saw that was day 2 and 3, but on day 1, which just had the beginning party, had all those meetups beforehand. So we hit every one that we could. I mean, that's how we met you, Karen. We went to a meetup, and it was interesting because on day 2, we looked around the room. We knew people, we knew their stories, how their channel got started, some of the problems they were having with it, what their content was. And then on day 3, when we finished and then we went to the after party, it was like we had friends. We knew everybody.
We kept bumping into each other, seeing each other, and it's like, oh, I know you. Oh, wait, we sat next to each other.
Right.
Even on the escalator, like, oh, hi, how's it going?
If we had not had that networking day at the beginning, I don't know that it would have been as valuable. But if I were to do it again, now that I look back, I'd think about it, for expense, whether or not I wanted to spend all that time in the networking day. So it was fun to meet everybody, but I traveled a long way. So
so interesting. Are you saying that if you next time you wouldn't necessarily spend all day going to meetups?
I'm not sure if I would, but I definitely made it feel good throughout the event.
Yeah. What would you do with your time instead on that day? Like, would you just do your work, like your YouTube work, if you weren't going to go to meetups?
Job. I have a full-time job, so it's taking time off to come. Maybe by next year I won't have a full-time job.
Yeah.
Or a different
I mean, I met you, Karen, there, and Brooke and I, we talked about it. We did feel like it was worth it. But Brooke, would you do it again?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I'm where you're at. Like, it was fun to, meet some people beforehand, like you said, but I just even, today I was writing up some of my notes and, just trying to have it be fresh again in my mind. And there just wasn't a lot of notes that I felt were super helpful from the meetup day. It was just more of the few friends that, you met along the way. And like Melissa says, is that worth flying a day earlier, taking a day off, paying the extra night at the hotel? So that was definitely a surprise that it was a meetup day only. I was a little disappointed actually about that. Because VidCon was 3 days and this one was only 2 days.
Okay, guys, and I was clueless about what was going to happen to me. Seriously, because I didn't even have a week to even understand what this VidSummit was, because Karen just told me about it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like a lemming. Let me go jump off the bridge. And she came, and we're going on Monday for a sign-in. And I'm like, okay, what are we going to listen to? And she goes, well, this is just like a sign up and check in. And I'm like, okay. But we ended up, I don't know what we did. We met up with people, but it seems like we were so busy. And she was coming from New Zealand, so she wanted to use every minute to just network or meet people. And both of us are, just sit down and chat with people, whether it was about business or just life.
Day 1 was registration too, remember? It was get your lanyard, get your swag bag, just orient yourself to whatever. So yeah, I guess it was just registration day, wasn't it? There was nothing promised about sessions or anything, was there?
Well, I think part of the problem was they didn't really tell you. Well, for me, I didn't find anything that said what the schedule was going to be. I was going purely by what Brooke said to be coming, because if it was based on what they promoted to me, I wouldn't have known for sure what to expect, which is why I showed up not knowing what to expect. And yes, they had the events, Wuha or whatever it was, where you could see the events, but not that far ahead.
Yeah, very, very little time ahead. And then it said VidSummit, the 7th to the 9th. So in my head, I'm like 7, 8, 9.
Me too.
7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. And then you get there on the 6th to make sure that you're there for the 7th. And then they're like, oh, by the way, there's these meetups with, who knows who's organizing the meetup? Who is this person?
Right.
Do they have 5 million subscribers? Do they have 500 subscribers? Do they know what the hell they're talking about? You know what I mean? So, if it's the blind leading the blind, just tell me that. I just want to know.
Right. And sometimes it really was the blind leading the blind, where you know, one of the people that we sat in with, he didn't even have 100 subscribers, but he started one. But then I went to another one that was by an author, and I'm an author, so I recognized her from YouTube, and she has a lot of followers and a lot of good content. So she set up a meetup. You just don't know. It really, the first day, and I don't know if this is how it's going to be next year, but the first day was a party that started at 7.
Yes.
At night.
Totally.
Elijah, I mean, maybe you could speak to this because you're the one that's been around the block a couple times. So have you seen improvement, or have you seen changes in how they've grown VidSummit?
First, I actually want to chime in on what Melissa and C Queen said about maybe next year, depending on the circumstance, maybe skipping that first day. I get the impression that like maybe you actually would fly in like the second day, and then you said something interesting. You said I don't know if it would be worth it. So I would ask for next year, what would you need to do for it to be worth it to attend that first day? And the reason I ask you this question is to get the most out of VidSummit, it's a balance between attending the seminars and actually networking. So you calculate the cost of the VidSummit ticket, which is, I'll say $1,000. Maybe it's going to go
$1,000,
or maybe you'll buy it at a discount if you buy it ahead. If you buy it ahead of time, you'll get it cheaper. But there's a cost. So let's say if your channel has grown to where you hit 1,000 subscribers, maybe you've gotten monetized. That'd be awesome, right? Well, now when I'm talking to people, what if I have the intent to do some networking and maybe set up an affiliate program with someone, or potentially get a sponsor, and that sponsor is going to pay me like $500, maybe $1,000 for like to do a series of videos. All of a sudden, if I met them on that first day, the VidSummit ticket kind of paid for itself, and I made a new connection and potential recurring stream of income. So that's the way you can actually look at the first day, because it's nothing but pure networking. There's no seminars, and they've always had that structure. But I think it's set up like that on purpose, so you can really just focus on the networking that first day. Now, if you're like me, you'll be networking the whole time, but at the very least on that first day, you can really make some connections, maybe set up some relationships that could have a monetizable component to it. That way you'll make that first day just a little more worth it. Allison, to answer your question, I haven't really seen a change in the structure of VidSummit. It's always had that structure, but I've seen some improvements in the registration day as a whole. My first VidSummit, there was a line, and it almost wrapped around the building. And it's in Texas, and we have triple numbers in terms of temperatures. So you can see she's getting the sweat just hearing me say that.
I remember. It was hot.
Yeah. So that was an interesting experience. Year 2 comes along, and they massively improved on it. There was a line, but I arrived at a time where it was barely a line anymore. But it went much faster. And fast forward to this year, there was no line at all. In fact, they did something interesting. It really was 4 days.
Yeah.
If you're actually a local like me, you can actually come and pick up your badge on that Monday. So that means that you potentially got rid of all the locals and their address so that you can focus on everyone coming out of town on Tuesday. And that's why there really wasn't a line this year. So it's made massive improvements in that regard.
Wow.
And I was a first timer and went by myself, and I'm sort of local. I'm in Waco, so it's about an hour and a half drive. Do what?
Local-ish kind of.
Yeah, local-ish.
Yeah.
It's within the neighborhood in Texas.
It really kind of is, yes.
Yeah.
So I actually went down on the 6th, and because I knew I could get my packet that day. And again, like y'all said, I thought that there would be things on the 7th. Mm-hmm. And so I could have come down on the 7th. And I didn't do anything on the 7th because I was by myself. And the idea of going to these meetups alone, I had no clue what I was getting into.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually good information for me.
My kind of girl.
Well, it was good information for me for listening to what y'all experienced. So I'm aware next year of what is to come.
Do you think you would bring your family or some of your family or a family member? Because you said they're part of your videos
that
now.
my children would go nuts over the YouTube people that were there. So it may not be a great idea.
Yeah.
Because especially my 11-year-old, I'm sorry, she's 12 now. She turned 12 last week. She was going nuts over the lineup. Her and my son went through the lineup and picked out everyone they knew and decided that I had to become best friends with all of them. So, so I'm not sure. We'll have to see how that goes next year.
Cute.
Yeah. Okay, all right, guys. While we're on the topic of networking, what did you actually do to network? Like, if we were like watching you networking, what would we see you doing and saying?
Me and Melissa have a good one, actually. We were there on the first night. Correct me if I'm wrong, Melissa. I think this is what it was. So it was harder for me, I think, than it was for her to network. And so I said, all right, you pick the people that we're going to go network with. There's all these people at the reception. I'm like, all right, you pick them out. Let's go talk to them. And so she does. And then she's like, all right, you pick out the next one. And I'm like, how do you know? How do you know? I'm like, let's let fate decide. Let's walk through the crowd and count to 20. And whenever we get to 20, we stop and say hello.
Right. Well, and we kind of did that on the last one too, when they kept telling us throughout the conference, say hello to somebody you don't know. Yeah. So when we were at the after party, we went and talked to, we decided we're going to talk to 3 people. We were sitting up on the balcony part of that bar where we were having the after party, and we're looking around, and I saw this guy down there who was standing by himself, and he'd been there for a little while. And I said, we're going to talk to him.
Lasered in. She's like, him.
So we went down and talked to him, and he's actually a guy that I don't know what his job title is, but he makes the deals for the people who are on YouTube, and he's the middleman. So matches up deals with, and he typically goes with people who have 1 million.
I thought it was 100,000.
Yeah, something a lot. So I was able to help him hook up with my brother-in-law, who wasn't even there, but my brother-in-law is a YouTuber, and he makes a lot of money on YouTube. So I connected them. So yeah, and then I met somebody else who does the what was it? They set up Shopify stores, and they also work with Printful so that they. Has anyone been asked to VidCon as well? I hope this hasn't been asked. Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, this guy hooks up the Shopify and the Printful stuff. And so I got his name in number 2 because I introduced myself. I forced myself past the number 3, Brooke. I don't know if you know that. But I introduced myself. Doing that woohoo dance on the floor. I was out there doing hands.
You were laser focused, girl. See, that's why I like to go with her. She just inspires me to be better. You are your reference group.
That's okay. I loved going with Brooke. She taught me how to do the dance.
Yeah.
I taught her how to twerk.
She did. And it was so much fun.
And now we're off topic. Okay, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. This one is for you, Brooke, about VidCon. Do you want to tell Evie about VidCon?
Mm-hmm. So Evie, I decided last December that I wanted to go to at least 2 conferences this year related to YouTube. So I heard of VidCon, and then I got Daryl Eves' book, The YouTube Formula. So then I learned about VidSummit. So I got both of those tickets at the same time, and VidCon was in LA in June for 3 days. And I went to that. I learned that it's way better to be next to the event, if you can be, instead of taxiing all the time. But that's kind of common sense. So there was a lot of fans, children mostly, and it was cool. But at the same time, I kind of felt like what Allison was talking about, or Kelly, somebody was talking about it earlier, oh, you and your little YouTube channel, and here I am with a bunch of little 18-year-olds there are carrying around cameras everywhere they go, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm a day late to the prom. You know what I mean? There's 8-year-olds surrounding me, and I think you had to pay a little bit more to get access to the 3rd floor. And so I was going all in, and I'm like, all right, I'm freaking getting access to that third floor. And that was cool, I think, because there were definitely some talks on the third floor that, like, you know, the entry level people were not at. So I kind of felt like I was more of an adult, you know? I'm like, I don't have 500 subscribers, but I want to be with kids my own age.
Now I have to ask, did the main people, the big names, did they also do talks, or were they just there for like the signings and the meet and greets?
Yeah, that was a good question. I know that there was one gal who made, I'm sure there was a bunch of people that made a bunch of money, but there was this one gal in particular. She had like a purple rabbit or a purple dog or something. And she was one of the ones where there was just kids like lined up around the whole thing. And so I don't think that, I don't know, because I don't know all the famous YouTubers that well, and then versus which ones gave talks. So I would just guess that yes, some of them did, but there was a lot of, and then they kept a lot of that fans and like the kids stuff and like all the swag, you know, kind of vendor stuff on the first level. So it was separated from like the second level conference talks and the third level conference talks. So yeah, VidSummit definitely felt like a more grown up conference, and not just because the people were older, because there was a lot of people there just more like creator based, I think is what. Yeah.
Less Disney cruise.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I went in as a new person, really not knowing much about VidSummit at all. Went in thinking I was coming into that younger crowd of people. And I just thought to myself, I'm going to be this old lady walking around in here. Obviously, I was not. So I was very pleasantly surprised. But I went in thinking I was going to be the old woman in a crowd of 20-somethings. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize the depth of the people that were going to be there, as far as the seriousness they were taking this. You know, this is their livelihoods, and this is their goals in life. And I came into it kind of thinking they were all just doing this fun little YouTube thing.
Gotcha.
And so I loved that I got there and it was a business focused event.
Totally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about you, Elijah? What were you doing to network?
Okay, I think the question for me is more so, what was I not doing to network? Because everything that you could probably think of, I was probably doing it. But
okay, would you do anything different then next year? Like, from if you were doing everything this year, what would you make any changes to what you did for next year?
Honestly, I probably wouldn't. But I would say that here's the advice I would give for people who are looking to network. I think what Melissa did, as far as setting a number to hit before she was, I can't stop talking. I have to meet at least this amount of people today. I think that's awesome, and I'm glad that she's able to overachieve on that goal. I think
she always does.
Nice. But I would say that some people, they may feel a little intimidated at first, because like there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people at VidSummit. It's always a lot of people, and I know, Melissa, you said you saw that one guy was kind of hanging out by himself for a little while, but I think we can all agree he's the anomaly. Most of the time, you don't see anyone hanging out by themselves. Or they may sit down briefly just to do something on their phone, and then 5 minutes later, they're back into the action. So if you're looking for someone by themselves to approach, you might be looking for a good while. So you got to know how to talk to a group of people. And I would say, just remember this. This is what's known as a warm market in sales, but we all have something in common at VidSummit. We're content creators, or we're content creator curious. So if you're wondering exactly, okay, how do I talk to a group of people, or how do I talk to someone, you can literally just walk up to them like, this is quite the summit, isn't it? Oh, yeah, it is. Is this your first time here? Oh, it's my second or third time. I'm like, oh, it's my second or third time. Well, what's your name? Oh, I'm such and such. I'm Elijah. Nice to meet you. Boom, you're in a conversation. And you could repeat that literally with every single person you meet, because at the very least, they are there because they're related to content creation in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
And the best part is if you don't know anybody, like if you don't know like big names or anything, like I knew one person that, of course, who doesn't know because of her pink hair, Hope Scope, but
I didn't know her.
I did, but I had to keep asking Karen, what's her name again? You know, pink hair, what's her name? I just knew her, but I wouldn't pick anybody out of a crowd that had, I couldn't tell you who Mr. Beast was if he was there, okay? So the point is that I could just sit down and talk and probably embarrass myself because these people were just walking around like you and me. Everybody was walking around. And these young kids that had, that were on stage talking to some of the seminars that I was, listening to, I was like, holy cow, how old are you? I mean, you were born like after I, I could be your grandma.
Yeah. And you're exactly right too, Elijah, that this is a warm crowd. Like everyone is there to network.
Yeah.
Like that was being communicated to us, even with the what was the, I want to say googly, what was that little app called? The gossip one.
Where she tries to connect you up with people.
Oh,
the
yeah.
WhatsApp one. There was a WhatsApp
Goblin.
one. Gossip, Gobby Gossip or something like that, right? So there was that. So yeah, that one and the Hoover. I kept on calling it Wover. Why would you pronounce it?
I don't know how it's pronounced. I've heard both pronunciations.
Exactly, that one. And so yeah, that was being communicated to us just to like get into it. I mean, people were who's around in Dallas, who's around this weekend, and they were pushing right till the weekend after as well. Who's still around? Weren't they? Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Those sorts of things popping up. Who's still around? Like that's phenomenal. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, everyone is there to meet people. So it's really like the safest crowd, that you could just be walking up to and meeting people.
Yeah.
Kelly is looking for Melissa's channel.
Yay.
My channel is Wyoming Jeepers. My new channel is called Alaska Tales, and there's one video on there, but it's 3 years old.
Yeah, guys, feel free to put your channel names in, guys. Put your channel names in the chat for people.
I do have a cheat code for people that this is probably the biggest cheat code that you can use in any kind of conference.
There you go.
But on Facebook or LinkedIn or X or Twitter, like just tag whatever the conference or summit is and just ask like, hey, who's going to VidSummit? My name is such and such and I'll be there. And just
that's a great idea.
And when y'all see who comments, add them, connect with them. Yeah. And then the day of VidSummit, like, hey, do you want to meet RIL? I'll be in the front. And you'll be surprised how many people say, yeah. So then you go there and then like you already have a VidSummit crew of 5 to 10 people. Like, oh, it's nice to meet you in person. Well, I'm not alone anymore.
Yeah.
And that's how I met Karen. Was on the Hoover or Wova or whatever you call it app.
Yeah.
Her and I don't even know how we really got talking, but we did.
Maybe we said who's over 40. Was it like anyone
probably
here
something like that? Yes, because I was very excited to see someone else.
Yeah. Literally, we just kept on trying to connect. And Elijah, I met Greg by just walking up to him while we were waiting for the fashion show to get going. I just kept on seeing him around and seeing him chatting to people. So I just like ran up to him. I just go, hi. It was like last night, kind of, like, what are you running on? Fumes at that point, right? What about the whole food thing? Actually, I want to go back quickly. Like, you had another awesome tip too, Elijah, about you were wearing, interesting clothes, like things that people would notice. So that's a great tip.
I wore hats.
Yeah, you wore hats, Kelly. Yeah.
I wore hats every day. Like, I design hats, so I wore fun hats.
Yeah.
I had a cane.
I had Melissa, my secret weapon.
Melissa.
I just want to say, like, on that vein of networking, I felt like I could have really improved for VidCon, but you don't know what you don't know. And I guess I kind of underestimated the meetups and like who you can meet and where. So there was a meetup like at our hotel, which was the Hyatt, which was, it was like a 5 to 7 minute cab ride away. And it just didn't seem like there was a ton of people that were at the summit that were there. And I saw this meetup, or me and Melissa saw there was a meetup for breakfast one morning at like 7 or 8 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm going to go. But then I couldn't sleep. So I went, and there was like 3 people there. And I'm like, I just so underestimated it, you know. I'm like, oh, there's just, okay, well, there's 3 people here, so let's just see who they are, you know. I feel like I'm in like a super niche, you know, commercial fishing. Like, I think I'm the only commercial fisherman here. Like, nobody the heck knows what I do or how I do. And I'm just feeling like really, like, people just couldn't relate with me or my content. And like, maybe I was just kind of alone in that, which I was okay with. That was fine. But then when I sat down for like 3 people, there was like an editor for commercial fishing for like 2 huge guys on the East Coast.
Hello. Is that like a God wink or what?
I was like, how are you here right now? And now I'm working with him, and he's my editor, and he's helping me.
Wow, that's great.
And that was at like 8 o'clock with 3 people there at the Hyatt. So you just like never know who you're going to meet is basically what it comes down to. So I definitely want you to write up what your strategies are too, Elijah, because I want some of your strategies too.
Okay.
Seriously.
But you know what though? But that's what you get for showing up.
Exactly.
That is what you get. You know, what do they say? Luck favors the somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know, the motivated people that show up.
Luck favors the consistent or something like that.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Stack the odds in your favor and show the frick up. Just get out of bed. Hey, get out of bed. You look at the crowd and you go, oh, okay, this isn't quantity. I don't know who these people are. I'm getting the vibe that no one understands. I'm so hyper niche here that people are looking at me.
At the very least, I could meet some, or at the worst, I could meet some mean people and leave. You know, I'll just say hello.
Yeah.
Hey, we didn't meet any mean people. Not one.
I think the saying is, luck is where opportunity meets consistency. I think that's the saying.
That's it.
Yeah.
I tried to get into the chat, and while I was trying to get in the chat, it booted me out. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, golly.
They've asked me questions. I can't answer them, but I see somebody else answered Wyoming Jeepers for me. I also have Alaska Tales, which is just starting. The first Alaska Tale will come out the first part of December. And and Brooke was holding up my book, which is where it all started. So I have a book called The Call of the Last Frontiers, my story of 20 years in Bush, Alaska as a school teacher. And that's why I started. Because
I know her, because I read the book before I met her. So
wow,
nice.
We have a lot of teachers on our little group here, so they might be interested in reading that.
Yeah, I was a teacher out on the Aleutian chain. I'm from Michigan, so we point where we're at from Michigan, but Alaska, the Aleutian chain. I lived out on the Aleutian chain for 2 years, and then down in Southeast in a logging camp for 18. And that's what the book is about. But that's Alaska Tales YouTube channel was actually Alaska Bush Life, and I put one video up 3 years ago. But I will be putting up Alaska stories.
And it's #1 on Amazon right now in her category, 2 categories.
Been out for 4 years. It's been #1 on and off for 4 years.
So good. It's so good.
That's great. I'll be ordering it tonight.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You won't be disappointed.
If you want to know what it's like to live in Alaska, that's how you find out.
Yep.
Have we got some echo from someone's microphone, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's all right. I don't know. We just got a little bit of echo. That's okay. I don't think it's a really big biggie. And Elijah, didn't you say that you wore what was on your T-shirt or your shirts? You had, like, was it about vegan side?
It was called the Veggie Outers. So I have multiple brands, and that's something I actually do locally. I've been a plant-based for about 13 years, and I have a vegan meetup group where we go to vegan restaurants and we review them on a scale of 1 to 10 based on the atmosphere, the customer service, the food, and the price. But truth be told, I was wearing my Veggie merch, and it did get a lot of people like, "Hey, what's the Veggie What is that?" So all of a sudden, I'm in a conversation from it. But truth be told,
Nice.
that was kind of a concession. What I really wanted to wear is my new merch, which is for the Side Hustler Society. It's a hoodie that says "Hustlers gonna hustle while haters gonna hate," and
I like that.
it didn't get in the mail in time. Even though I ordered it like 3 weeks in advance, it got lost in the mail, and it just came in the mail like a week ago. Well, yeah, that's real nice. The summit's already over. It's not gonna serve its intended purpose. But I did have the shirt version of it, so I did wear that the second day. But I decided this year I was gonna wear my merch in some form. My normal attire is business or business casual. I wanted to change it up, so I wore my merch. But since I didn't have my Hustlers hoodie, I just put the Veggie hoodie on. But it really served the same purpose because people are wondering, well, what is a Veggie What is that? I guess it's something related to vegan, right? Like, oh, all of a sudden I'm in a conversation. So being intentional about what you're wearing is another form of networking because, and this works great for people who are introverted. It will entice people to start a conversation with you because you're wearing something that drew their attention.
That's cool.
And that's why I wore the big hats I wore, because I am, going by myself. I was going to tend to be a little more introverted, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to get out there, meet people. And so I thought, well, the only way I know how to do it is be a little more bold in my outfit choice. So, and it did. It caught attention, and people ask about the hats, and that's how I started a lot of conversations.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
and I one day
Kelly, can you put up on your screen what your channel's going to be?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, I wore something one day with like big puffy sleeves, and I was talking to a guy, and we were just like hanging out at a seminar and stuff. And he said to me, "Oh, I've seen you around. Were you wearing the thing with the big puffy sleeves yesterday?"
Oh, that's cool.
See, that's just So I
Nice.
And didn't we see that girl in like the bright pink sort of bodysuit? She said her whole channel is pink and she has nothing pink at home. But, people were definitely sort of like dressing to stand out, showcase their personality, their brand, everything, right?
But I kind of expected there would have been more of that than there was. I mean, there were some, but I would have expected more. But, and the other thing was,
if you're one of the few people to do it, then you're going to stand out for the right reasons.
Right.
True. So it's like your thumbnail. It's your thumbnail. You're a walking thumbnail.
Right.
Stop scrolling. Stop right here.
What do you guys think about people who've got QR codes on their like sweaters or hoodies or something?
I like it. I'm like, oh, I should have done that. I actually followed this kid from VidCon. He got in front of me. Actually, he asked a really good question, and he was like 10 years old. And everybody's just kind of looking at him like, here's this little 10-year-old at this adult conference asking a great question. And so that got my attention right away. And then he got on the escalator in front of me, and there was this big QR code. And it literally took me 3 seconds to take my phone out, get a picture of it, and subscribe to his channel. I'm like, oh my God, that's totally what I need in my life. I just need to only wear QR code shirts.
Yeah, lots of ways to network. So any final tips about networking before we go to our next question?
I think don't be afraid to put your hand out and say, hi, my name is, and, introduce yourself. Or, Brooke, when we butted into different groups, we would look for a group and say, okay, we're going to go over there. And Brooke would say, hey, do you mind if we join you? And then we hated to interrupt their conversation, but if you want to get to know people, you're going to have to do that. You cannot come.
Yeah, if you want a rose, you got to do it.
Totally. Good point.
And you pay to help everybody come.
That last night that we were there, I went up to this guy, trying to network. Melissa was networking, so I'm like, I got to be networking too. So I went up to this guy and I started, trying to ask him about himself, and he was like, all laid back, cool, calm, and collected. And you could just tell that he thought that his shit didn't stink. Excuse my French, And I'm just like, after a few minutes, I'm like, okay, there's gonna be people like that. So you just spot them and you're like, okay, this is not the person I want to talk to. And, see you later. And that's the worst that can happen. So that really, gives me the boost to just put yourself out there next time more.
Yeah.
I want to say that as the first time going to one of these and being as fresh as I am in this YouTube journey, I do a little bit of marketing, things like that. So this was helpful for that as well. But I found that I got so much out of it as far as the networking side and the information, and just it really, I don't know, I came back with a different perspective.
Interesting.
I think that I went in, like I said, kind of just thinking, well, this might be something that will be good. Now, of course, my background's a little different on how I got started, which Karen and I have talked about, and I told all of you before the show. I kind of fell into getting to go to this VidSummit. And but while I was there was it helped on so many levels, on even the marketing side, on how you present yourself, and that comes out even on your networking side and things like that. But they even talked about the 5 qualities you want your audience to know about you, and I took that home with me into my everyday job and my daily job and stuff, and started really thinking about what are those 5 qualities that I want people to see in me every single day. And I started asking my peers and people around me, tell me the top 3 things you think of when you think of me, like honest opinions and stuff. And what Jordan Matter, who was one of the speakers there, he had said that you ask these questions, and if it's not the answer that you want people to perceive in you, then you know where to work from.
Yeah, that's a good
and I loved that, and I did. I took it home and I started asking my work peers, my family, friends, what are those top 3 things that you think of when you think of me? And I was
what
very
were their
happy.
answers?
Oh, so I am, it was very flattering, honestly, but, and it was the things that I really hoped I was putting out there. But kindness, that I am funny in kind of a quirky way, which I love that, because who needs to be normal, and helpful, just, and so, like I said, it was just good feedback. But that was something that I really think that I got out of it. It was a very simple thing, but it did kind of shift my perspective on how to get started and things like that, because I wasn't sure where my jumping off point should be. And this gave me a good foundation of saying, okay, so I just need to know, what do I want to put out there for people? And that's your brand, your ultimately, what is your personal brand in your everyday world, everyday life, and is that what you're wanting to convey on your channel? And I loved that. I got a lot out of that, and it helped me with the networking side, as well as just moving forward on my YouTube journey.
I have a question regarding networking. Just out of curiosity, how many people are you 5 still talking to, either here and there or regularly, or just, emails a little bit, like specifically from VidSummit? Like, how many contacts do you, like, useful contacts, or that want to get back to you, are still in your life right now?
I have an interview with somebody, and don't ask me a name because I don't have it in front of me, and it was just set up yesterday. But on the 20th, she interviews everybody but me, high-end people that are going to be millionaire, that are on the million. And but she had talked to me and Karen, and she liked our stories about, 1, how we met, and 2, it's, you know, more of a home journey kind of thing. And she just really liked us, I guess. So she had asked if I would be a guest on her podcast.
Oh my God, awesome.
So we've been talking back and forth a little bit.
Cool. So one person is what I hear you saying.
So far, I mean, but
with
Karen,
a lot
you
of
know.
subscribers.
Yeah, it does actually. I mean, I've gotten, I mean, since VidSummit, and I'm not saying I met all these people at VidSummit but I've gotten my mojo on, and I had people subscribe at VidSummit. I didn't see a drop off. I saw a little bit of a drop, so people liked you, and then all of a sudden, you know, oh no, this isn't my kind of content, maybe. But overall, I got the juices flowing. And since VidSummit, my numbers have just been going up and up and up.
That's awesome. I'll go ahead and say
I
mine.
mean, I plan on trying to keep. I'm trying to keep up with people. Like I did a meetup for Denton, but there was a really bad car accident in our town on the highway, and people couldn't get there, so it didn't work out. I went because I started the meetup, but it was bad. It was a really bad traffic night. So, Elijah, you can attest to that.
Yeah, especially if it's on the way to Denton. There quite literally is only one way to go. There's no like back street you can take to get around it. Like, nah.
Yeah.
I would say for me, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you
I was
go.
just going to say for me, I'm still in touch with that awesome commercial fishing editor. Like if there was one person I could have chosen to meet, it would have been an editor who does commercial fishing. So that was like the coolest thing ever. Melissa I already knew from before, and then you, Karen, when you reached out to me. And do you have the Millionaire podcast? Millionaire?
Oh yeah, that's the one, is it? I think, Alison, that you might be talking about, is it?
Yeah.
The Millionaire
Is that the
podcast?
one?
Yeah.
The Millionaire
Yeah.
Maker
Seems to be
podcast or something?
asking everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was asking everybody. So I remember she asked me, and I think honestly that's it for me. So it's not like I have all these huge numbers, and that's kind of what I was wondering from you guys, you know, like
I've got some contacts like the gearheads. We met the gearheads, and she loves to come up with names for videos. So when I need a good name for a video, I'm going to be calling her. So I have her number in my. By the way, I have a tip for anybody who goes to the conference: don't bring a booklet this big for your notes, even though it's only a 2-day conference, because this was day one.
Yeah.
Plus the extra 2 pages, day one. And
There you go. That's what you need.
And I
Totally.
okay, I've realized that since we got the video playback, I wasn't going to focus on my notes, and also because I get foggy brain with Parkinson's, so I wanted to pay attention, and I knew that we would get playback, so I wanted to be in the moment. Like for me, I can't, as much as I want to write it all down, I wouldn't get it clearly written down, and then I wouldn't have even appreciated the actual physical time I had with that person. But you're right. There's the best part about being at VidSummit is we get the playbacks. You know, I mean, that money that's what's invaluable, is that we could go back and keep watching it.
Oh, look, we've got this from Introvert in Alaska. Jennifer, I just watched one of Melissa's videos for the first time last week.
Jennifer is in Alaska, and she does the most beautiful videos in Alaska.
Sweet. Oh, I'll write that down.
we should talk.
No,
My new show is called Alaska Tales, because I spent 20 years there. Most of my adult life was in Alaska, and therefore I write suspense mysteries. So all of my stories that I write about have some nuggets of truth. So yeah, we should talk.
Look at you networking on the live, Melissa and Jen.
Yeah, we gotta keep
Jennifer, she's so creative.
You can find me on Facebook, Alaska Tales. Send me a message, or Wyoming Keepers on Facebook.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so look, for me, so I got like lots of physical business cards. I got lots of contacts just straight into my phone. And so I'm going to be following up with all of those people. I have had, like, even just for inviting you guys on, I probably reached out to 2 or 3 times the number, just kind of randomly thinking, oh my God, okay, Miles the driving guy. But if people aren't looking at their emails, or maybe if it's a business email that they're not normally used to looking at, I think it was just a bit missed. But I'm gonna, one of the things I really learned from Maha Abu, I picked up that free book.
Me too. Isn't it great? I love that book.
Yeah, I loved people saying just how she just said, you be the one to reach out, you connect with people, you make the offers, you know what I mean? Like, don't just sit around and think that anything's going to drop in your lap. Just go out there and get it. Yeah. And Elijah, wasn't it on one of your panel who said, was it Greg who said Tom bill you? That he just asked Tom, like, will you come on my podcast? And Tom said yes. I mean, how many subs does Tom have? Like, I don't know, he's up in hundreds of thousands or something. I don't know. But do you know what I mean? Like, just reach, you be the person to make it happen.
Yeah. I did have a question for C Queen. So were you talking about this VidSummit, or are you talking about VidSummit in general in terms of like people you're still connected with?
Oh, that's a good question. I've only been to one. So for me, it would be just one. But I guess I'd like to know for you, like specifically from this last one, and not to say that, like, because obviously we meet a lot of people, and I've met a lot of people. Like we also met this other guy who has like a dentist channel or something, and he was super cool, and I could reach out to him, but I don't have anything. I feel like I don't have any questions for him. He was really nice, but I just don't feel like, I don't know, like I have anything to say. So I guess like helpful contacts that you're still in touch with, and he was nice, totally nice.
We have phone numbers in our phone, Brooke. We put a ton of phone numbers in our phone from people while we were there. And that chiropractor was one. And he actually went to the channel Jumpstart, I think he did.
He did.
And so he was telling us about that. And in the end, on the last night, the first night he's telling us, oh, look how much money I made on the show that I was doing, my project. But on the
You're going to go there. You're going to go there, Melissa. Tell him.
What really is the value of Channel Jumpstart is this. He's pointing at his wrist, and on his wrist was a white wristband that said Channel Jumpstart. And therefore, they kind of flocked to each other because they support each other. And then they have their separate ways to support each other in little meetings that they do. And he said that is the most valuable thing. But it's a $6,000 class. And I was looking at that bracelet wondering, well, I'm going to see how much I can get out of what I learned this year from VidSummit before I spend $6,000 for the networking piece, which is what Elijah's talking about, the networking piece. But these people, some of them are making good money. So we'll see what next year brings.
I did learn that you are your own best guru. Screw everybody. We can listen till we want, but this week alone, I've heard I lost my earbud. The first talk I went to was on shorts. Okay. Mm-hmm. And all week, all I've heard was like videos popping up from very respectable people, how their shorts are no good. You should never do shorts. Don't rely on shorts. But I went to, my first topic was about going to shorts, and she showed, it was the bake lady that does all the baking.
The cakes.
Yeah.
Cakes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And but what's really funny is then I was, catching up on some of the videos last night, and who was it? Lewis. He said long form cooking into short form. He took his long form into short form gadgets, or she did. Sorry, it might have been a she. But she was doing long form cooking, and she took her platform to short form gadgets, kitchen gadgets, reviewing kitchen gadgets, and blew up her channel. So you're your own guru. I mean, you got to follow your path.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned out of all of this. I loved what I've heard from all these different people. And I just have to focus that when I hear a video that's saying, don't do this, but I heard somebody how great they did with it, I just have to recalculate my mind and say, they are doing good with theirs. It doesn't mean that it's only right.
Yes, and Elijah, what were you going to talk to just the contacts that you've made from now you've been to 3 VidSummits, and just how many of those connections and what that's meant for you and your channel and you personally?
Well, I remember she wanted to know particularly this year. So this year it's probably been about 18 people, but it takes intentionality.
Wow.
And I like to tell people, when it comes to keeping in touch, think in a more, not in a linear fashion, not like, how can this person help me? Or not even, how can I help this person? Think of that, ask that same question, but apply it in a broad way. So like, if you really need, like, you need to sell more products and you're looking like, okay, are they going to buy my product? I'm going to buy something from them. Yes, that's one way y'all could keep in touch. But one way that it's very easy for all of us to do is simply just follow them on their YouTube channel or their social media, and just make a note maybe once or twice a week to check out their content for 5, maybe 10 minutes and just drop a comment. That's engagement. That's engagement, and it goes a long way towards helping them out. And you'll start to see that more people will start to return to favor. And some
I love that.
develop even further than that if they have your contact information. Case in point, me
It's so obvious too when you say it, and I'm just like, how have I not done that already?
Yeah, I agree with you,
point.
Brooke. I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, because some of my good friends, we didn't necessarily know we had so much in common. But if I would have kind of dismissed them before that relationship had time to bake, so to speak, we both wouldn't have realized that. So I just engaged with their content, and they start to return the favor. Then it happens to come out that, oh yeah, by the way, I like doing this. Oh, I like doing that too. I'm a huge anime fan, or I like video games, or hey, I'm local to the Dallas-Fort Worth area too, or like you see you have XYZ in common, and then y'all start to become friends, but it kind of built up to that. Some people you'll just hit it off like right away, like y'all just instantly click, but some people it's more of a slower click because y'all didn't know y'all had something in common. So just at the very least, engage with their content, and pretty soon they'll reciprocate. If they don't reciprocate, I personally will start engaging less, and to the point to where I'm not going to engage at all, because I do want some reciprocation. But
absolutely,
if you're engaged with their content, they'll see what you're doing. Like, okay, this person wants to form a relationship with me. Well, let me engage back at the level that they're doing. And if you want to take it further, just start to gradually take it further.
See, this is what I was talking about, Elijah. Like sketch it out. Like this could be your ebook. I will buy
it. Well, I already have a book, but maybe I'll include it in my next book. Maybe a whole section on networking.
Nice. So far, like yeah.
One of the things that Brooke and I talked about while we were at the conference quite a bit is finding your peeps. Finding the people that you can rely on, because as you are a creator, you're sitting in a room by yourself most of the time, unless you're on a big show that has a crew and everything. If you're just a creator like me, you're alone a lot. I'm also an author. Yep. I'm alone a lot. And so, and she is too, in her camper off the coast, looking out at the ocean, but still alone, trying to, edit her videos. And it's a lonely world for content creators, whether you're author or YouTuber. And so I have an author buddy, and now I have the Sea Queen. She's in the YouTube world. My author buddy's in both YouTube and writing. And so, I'm trying to build my peeps around me so that they may not be across the street. We can't go for coffee whenever, but we can meet up at a conference, and we can sure be there by phone and text. And I know Brooke and I have had that for a long time, but it's a lonely world. And, I work for the University of Wyoming, and one of the things I do is teach community ed. And I can tell you that loneliness is the #1 complaint here in my area of Wyoming. And it was when I lived in Alaska for 20 years. And it is in the author world when I talk to authors. And then I get into the YouTube world and I start talking to other YouTubers besides myself. And I find Brooke is, sorry, Brooke, I'm outing you, is
Oh,
lonely
yeah,
too.
girl.
So
All the lonely people, where do they all come from?
right. And so, coming to something like VidSummit just fills your cup, and then hopefully when you walk away, you have a peep or two to add to your, throw them in your boat with you.
Yeah.
I asked Brooke, "You want to be in my boat?" Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, put me in your boat.
No, you did not at first. You said, "I'll be in a boat over here." By the time we were done, you said, "Okay, I'll be in your boat. I'll be in your boat."
One of the things about that, just really quickly, I feel like I'm actually talking too much. So really quickly.
No, you're not. You're not talking
Really?
too much. No,
Okay,
you're
cool.
not.
Thank you.
You're not. You're not.
So I try to watch a lot of Mr. Beast things. For those of you who don't know, he's the #1 guy on YouTube right now with over like 450 million subscribers. And like the second person is like way, way below him as far as subscribers go and, a success on YouTube. But I try to watch a lot of interviews with him and just, he's tried everything, like thousands of different ways to be successful on YouTube. And he's always talking about how hard it was and, all the things that he learned. And one of the things like above all else, like kind of stands out for me. And that was, he said, I can't remember whether he said we were 4 or I had 4 friends. But in any way, he either had 3 or 4 friends. And he said, I felt like that relationship just really propelled me forward so much more. So if you're alone, then you're trying to figure out thumbnails by yourself. You're trying to figure out click-through rate by yourself. You're trying to figure out 1,000 things by yourself. Whereas if you have 4 friends or 3 friends, or at least one other friend, then you can talk about it and you can strategize. Well, what did you learn today? What did you learn today? What did you learn today? So he's like, instead of me just trying to learn by myself, I was learning, and then I'd share what I learned with my 3 or 4 other friends, and then they'd learn with me what they learned with me. So I feel like I was learning like 3 or 4 times faster than everybody else just by my reference group. So I feel like, like I'm finally getting there. I didn't know how to get there before. I didn't know how to get these YouTubers in my life, and I feel like I finally found some. Yay!
Yeah, I mean, everyone is like, it is lonely. Being a YouTuber is really lonely, and I think there's something about, even though we just know because we're adults and we just intellectually understand that everyone else making channels is just like us. They're living somewhere in a suburb or living wherever, but to be in an environment, just all of that energy, all of those people, like, sometimes it's hard to be what you can't see. As well, isn't it? Like, that's why you just have to make your own goals and everything and just drive forward. But, just the energy and just the fun of meeting so many, people at all different levels. Just, yeah. Even if you just had like a tiny, like I just had to say, like I've just got like a little tiny channel, but it just didn't matter. Like people who are successful will never put down people who are taking action, to be more successful, and to learn stuff. So yeah, just really good. So who shouldn't go? Who do you guys reckon shouldn't go to VidSummit? If people are thinking about, should I go, shouldn't I go? Who would you not recommend it to?
Well, I just want to tell Artfully that you should go.
Yes, she could take the second bedroom. Susan can take the second
because
bedroom.
we're all friends. Yeah, me, Alison, and
Bedroom,
Susan, we're all friends. We've got a lot of our friends through here. Yeah.
Yes, you should go, Artfully, because
Definitely.
Yes,
Yeah.
just look us up. We're going to be there. Just look us up.
Yeah, like we're all going to be there, Susan. So
Thank you. Every's retired. I saw your comment. Thank you. We'll go on Friday.
And at Artfully, the hat thing was me telling myself I was going to jump out of my comfort zone. I literally had full on anxiety about going because for one, I was going by myself. I'm not necessarily introverted, but I'm crowds of people. It's just too people-y for me sometimes. So this was a big jump for me. I literally sat in my hotel room the night before. I had brought the hats because I feel like that's kind of like my little alter ego. You put the hat on. Now I'm, fun, quirky Kelly. as
Yeah.
opposed to business
Definitely.
casual Kelly most of the other days.
Yeah.
So this was kind of me telling myself, you're going to step out. You're going to,
Well,
just
I'm
be
telling you,
out there on it.
Kelly, you and Artfully, who is also known as Susan, will be soul sisters at this point. You're going to get to know each other because she's a teacher and she wears
she's a nurse.
hats.
She's a
She's a
nurse.
nurse
Yeah.
in a school. She
Yeah.
wears hats. And just last year, she was going, I can't.
Oh, you mean
You went muted. We missed that.
yes.
Just last year, she was saying,
That's
I
right.
can't make a video with my face on it. And then all of a sudden she did it. And it's like,
Yeah.
she is awesome. Susan is awesome. And I just see so much of you in your beginning stages of what she was.
You
Yeah,
keep
so-
spelling
so-
it wrong.
so-
I get it spelled wrong all the time. I'll answer to any Kelly.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I mean, but that's it though. I mean, I'm quite extroverted, but you still have to just kind of, I don't know, tell yourself, I'll own my language. I still had to tell myself okay, right, we're going to get there. And then we're parking in the garage. And as we're walking to, into the conference, this is it. We're just okay, we're going into the mouth of the beast now. You know what I mean? And we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it.
Or we're resting. And I said, oh, I really want to talk to that person, but I am not up for a talk right now. And she jumps out of the car and says,
we were
hey, do you have a minute for an interview?
So listen to this. So because we get to park in disabled parking, just with Alison's Parkinson's and walking with her cane. So we were parked in pole position at the garage, so we could see everybody coming to and from. And then at one point, we literally kicked our shoes off, our feet were up at the vents, the car was running. We just burned for I don't know how much petrol, just running air conditioning. And then one of us would go, oh, I really want to interview that person. But anyway, with this guy, Enos, the Amish guy, Alison just said, I really want to interview that guy. I'm like, well, do it. She's going, I just don't know if I have it in me at this stage. I was like, it would have had to have been end of second day or something. And I'm like, okay, I think you should do it. And she goes, yeah. I said, shall I jump out and just stop him? And she goes, yeah, okay, let's do it. So I rolled out of the vehicle, came around the back, and he was so nice and kind. But yeah, he's someone that we know now. And I did ask him.
And I did a video with him.
We did a video, and I literally, he's got, good big channel and stuff. So who do we think shouldn't go? Is there anyone that you think shouldn't go? Or if you're a YouTuber and you're thinking about it, it's a bit of a guaranteed good time.
I just think if you think it's a joke, if you think we're a joke, it's not that we're a joke. We're just us. So if you're not going to take the idea of doing YouTube seriously, whether it takes off for you or not, I think it's a good opportunity to see if it's something you would want to do.
I think if you have low energy or if you have disabilities, you might want to watch the live stream, and the networking is definitely worth it. Hearing people's stories is really nice. But I have MS, and so I know what challenges there can be for people with disabilities.
Why I was in the car half the time.
Yeah, you have Parkinson's, you definitely would know, but I just know there's sometimes disabilities will hold people back, or low energy, because you need a lot of energy for this, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And bring food. Put food in your bag, because there was not a lot of food. It easily found it without waiting. There were times when we started going around the table of 25 people, and Brooke was across from me. And by the time they got to me, it was time to go, let alone be able to put in an order. So I didn't eat there.
Right.
Bring food. Put it in your bag. You will not starve.
So Elijah, were there caravans? Did you say that in previous years there were food caravans outside? Because you were talking about a lack of vegan options. Because obviously they had one caravan outside, at one point, and there was a cafe, I think, inside. But were there food caravans in previous years parked outside?
Yeah, there are more food. This is an area where I think they took a step back this year. The previous 2 years, there were food trucks outside. I want to say at least 3 to 4, but this year was only 1. Now,
Yeah.
there are restaurants that do surround VidSummit, so I don't want people to think like there's just we're in the middle of the freaking desert and the only food available is
We're starving in Texas.
no. There are other restaurants available like the Bar Louie, and even if you don't want to eat there are surrounding restaurants, and you could use Uber Eats or DoorDash or something if you really wanted to. So there are options. But with that being said, I felt like there should be at least 3 or 4 food trucks like there were the previous years. And maybe in my video, I was complaining about the fact that not one of those food trucks was a vegan food truck.
Yeah.
But this year, there was hardly any food trucks at all. So next year, they definitely need to improve on that. And the best of both worlds is to bring back at least 4 food trucks and have one of them be vegan. And I'll say this again.
Yep.
If they need a recommendation, I know plenty of vegan restaurants that have food trucks. They would like to sit outside. So I'll be business keeper.
Yep.
Let's get
Yep.
a plant-based option there.
And do you know what, Elijah? Do you know what I think? I think that if you want to, you could just reach out to them, send them an email. You know what I mean? Like you're very polite person and everything. You could say it in a really nice way that didn't like super offend them or anything, but you could just say to them, hey, look, in previous years and then compared to this year, and like just kind of make it easy for them. Put the offer out there. Like I know I've got a lot of contacts, you know, because I heard you talk about that in your video, like from the one that you did last year. But why don't you just reach out to them? Because this is what they need, I think. They just need things to be easy. And if someone is like, you know, you're a proven long-time VidSummiter and you're just, you know, offering to make something easy for them, I think it's a great idea.
You know, I've sat on a board for 7 years and we put on conferences. That was the only goal we had for our writers board. And I can tell you some of the inside information. We wanted to put food trucks out for this year. And the place that we were holding our conference was going to take 30% off the top of their money that they brought in. And that would leave them very little. And then the unknown of how many people were going to eat. So we didn't get any food trucks. We really needed food trucks for that conference too, because they had one tiny restaurant. So that's an issue. For me, I'm going to bring food. Next time I'll have more food.
Yep.
I don't want to be trying to get food and having to wait forever to be served in order to be able to go on to the next thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. There's all that politics around it. And to be honest, I can totally imagine that when you've got a venue like that, you know, people don't probably just get to park their food trucks up. And it's as simple as that, right?
Yep.
But yeah. Anyone else who shouldn't go?
Well, I do want to, about the food truck, I actually was going to talk to Daryl about that in person this year. But, you know, well, you already know what ended up happening, so he wasn't available for the second and third day. So it is what it is. I guess the alternative would be just to do the email. But who shouldn't go? I don't want to sound rude when I say this, so realize I do have good intentions. But I would say wannabepreneurs or wannabe YouTubers. I wouldn't go because VidSummit is an expensive summit. And if you don't get a return on it in a sense of you want to see an outcome, but it's up to you to deliver that outcome. They're going to give you the information. They're going to give you the networking opportunities. But if you don't have any intent of at the very least getting monetized,
right,
make money off of this, you'll feel a certain way if you keep going and not getting that outcome, but you're not doing your part. So if you be honest with yourself and just say, this is a hobby on top of a hobby, I actually don't intend on making money with this. Unless you just want to hang out with creators, I probably wouldn't go because it is expensive. You want to eventually get a return on that investment, even if it's going to be years down the line.
I think having experience at YouTube, even if you've been out for just a little while, understanding the editing and understanding how to get a video up and what thumbnails are. So you already
and realizing they have a whole team. The people with billions of subscribers have teams of people that do some of this stuff.
Yeah, there was only a small number, but if you are, one person show or 2-person show, and you just started your show, you might want to wait a year, because I know my show's been out for 5 years and it's given me a lot of, I have 50 shows out that are, 30 minutes each, and they're like 40 hours of editing. So I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. I'm ready to start channel 2.
Totally.
And I know it's in the same shoes. She's got 2 channels. She's starting channel 2.
Yeah. Man, it ain't easy being breezy. Starting from scratch, man, that is so hard. I mean, it's not from scratch, but it seems like it is, and you're just like, oh, little baby channel. I made this little Instagram short afterwards that was just this funny scene and from the movie The Terminator, or no, True Lies is what it was, and it was just like Bill Paxton just like crying about how I'm nothing, I'm navel lint. Like that's how I felt when I was talking about the summit.
I'm nothing, navel lint.
I don't deserve to be in your presence. I'm so small.
I don't even deserve to be in your belly button.
I know.
Yeah, but isn't that the nice thing about VidSummit? Same thing with Author Nation.
Yeah.
You know, when we're all on a scale. You know, we're all moving along. We've all been at the places that people below us are at. And when you go to a place like this, we're all even. And you can walk up to Daryl Evans and just shake his hand and talk to him and ask him a question. You can walk up to, hey, if Mr. Beast was there, I'd walk up and talk to him as easily as I'd talk to Karen, because that's the mentality of a conference like this. We're all creators.
Because she is Mrs. Beast.
She is.
She is.
She is. I would be like, oh my God, there he is.
That was the one my kids were most excited about me seeing.
I totally thought he was going to be there. They kind of led you to believe as such too. So I kind of didn't like that.
No, they didn't.
And I believe he was supposed to be originally.
No,
I think they like used his picture in like some of the marketing, and so I feel like I saw that, and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to be there. So maybe that was just me misinterpreting it.
I think the thing was this last year he didn't show up and people were mad, and so they were using that, and you saw a lot of Mr. Beast involved in communication amongst people, but it wasn't really that he was going to be there.
Well, he does own, or his company owns VidSummit, if I remember right. So quite naturally, he should be part of the marketing. But people did feel a certain way when he wasn't there last year. The only time I've seen him there is in 2023. That's when he was there. I don't know. They might want to actually adjust that, because I do think that people are setting their expectations for him to be there. And when he's not, they're going to feel a certain way about that. And if that's the case, I think
I was definitely left with that feeling for sure.
Yeah.
So were there what were the so we're sort of coming like towards like the last sort of 5 to 10 minutes. But guys, in terms of like, let's just touch on the negatives for a minute, because like what were some of the things that you thought were a little bit negative? Like I heard like quite a few people on your panel. Was it your one, Elijah? You know, we all got talking. I was talking in the chat about the water cost. You know, the water was not free at the closing party. You know what I mean? So people, you know, were rightfully a bit grumpy about
closing party. Karen, was there a closing party?
Well, so the other thing I guess would be is that they had the creative fashion. What do you call it? Fashion.
Yeah, Karen and I are still there. We're going to the fashion show, and we stayed there.
Yeah, so we missed. So there was no food by the time we got to the closing
There was no
party.
food.
Yeah, but you wanted us to stay there, Alison, because you said that there was some free stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, do we even care about free? I don't know. You thought that there was some free stuff to have there, but anyway, we stayed
because
at the
there was
creative.
contests, and it was really nice, you know, like atmosphere, and they were doing funny things, and I'm like,
yes,
aren't we supposed to be here?
Fun. Sure, yeah. Well, I guess we missed out on food at the after party.
They took the food down fast. There was a lot of food there and not a lot of people, and that food came down fairly quickly, and that's probably not VidSummit's fault, having been on a conference committee for 7 years. That was probably the venue. And when our conference, and if you talk to him, Elijah, our conference that we do for Wyoming Writers, this year we told them, you may not take that food down. We will make sure people eat it. But they took the donuts away 30 minutes after they put them out. Nobody even had a donut yet. And when I went to find out what happened to them, they were in the staff room. So, yeah.
I think all the VIPs that were at Yeah, the VIPs that were at the fashion show, if they were planning on going to the after party,
Yeah.
they'd be a little disappointed because there was nothing.
Yes,
Wow.
they took it down. It was like they put it up and it was there for like maybe an hour. That would be giving them a long time. And then it was gone. I mean, if I wanted seconds, it was gone. I was like, but there wasn't anybody there when we got there. Brooke and I were like one of the first few people there. So
because that's what the catering lids are for, right? Like just
yeah.
for
So
the food to stay there.
if there's a legitimate complaint, it's that the after food party food disappeared quickly, and that may have been the venue, not the conference.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. What else? Any negatives?
We realized, I think I touched on this before, but just, trying to stay as close to the conference as you can, because every time we'd have to, call the lady, can you come get us now, Mom? Can you come get us now? Okay, can you meet us downstairs in a half an hour to take us back? So that was, the lady was great. Her name's Gloria. I still remember her. She was great, but just like being so far away from the conference, you can't just run up to your room and grab something to eat. Like Melissa said, like you're like a 7 to 10 minute drive away, plus scheduling it, plus calling and waiting. So it's like that's time you could be networking. Just
and
like
then
I bet Elijah stayed close to the conference.
and having the shuttle shut down.
Actually, I did. But
You mean
Okay.
events?
that's right. But go ahead.
Yeah.
And then Brooke and I, we ended up walking home because we didn't have a ride. And then the app told us the wrong way and tried to take us through a wash that was full of water. So, we were out there late at night.
I told her we could do it.
I don't live that close to the event, so Karen and I literally muled it for the day and packed up the car of like snacks and stuff. Because
at least it's nice
there
you
was
even
nowhere
have a
to
car
go.
with snacks, though.
Yeah, at least I had, but it's like we didn't have a place, so that's why I joked that we had our feet up on the dashboard and just kind of hanging out in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also there were several like attached to the thing. They did come out with like, here are little we've got discounts for these 6 accommodation options across the road, diagonally across the road. Mm-hmm. And they did recommend, didn't they? They said the best thing to do is to try and stay as close as possible, because you're going to like just pay in money and time, aren't you? And inconvenience to stay further away.
Oh, and that's another thing. You need to book the Westin like months out, because I remember when I got it in December, I tried to book at the Westin because I've been to a ton of trade shows like this before, and it was already booked out like way before. So I'm guessing people like Elijah that have already done several know this, and they probably already have it maybe booked out right now.
There's a lot of conferences actually. It's not in the DFW area. There's big arenas all over the area. So, and you're right next to the airport. Gotcha. So that, some of those hotels are always booked.
That makes sense.
And I stayed in a hotel that was, by GPS standards, said 9 minutes away. And I thought that would be fine.
You live in Texas.
I know. Well, I thought, okay, I was also being cheap and thought, okay, I'm going to stay 9 minutes.
I was going to be cheap. I was going to be exactly with you, cheap as possible.
Yes.
Literally, I was
don't complain
Airbnbs.
about your accommodations, girl.
Oh my God. I was looking up Airbnbs, and it's just like share an apartment with Ignacio, a male nurse. And I'm just going, okay.
How much do I need my privacy? How important is that?
Well, and I stayed in what I thought was a very nice hotel. But it was extremely much cheaper than those that were right there at the conference. And I actually, when looking at next year's conference, I have decided I will pay the money to be across the street or, within walking distance. I think that made a big difference. Like y'all said, you kind of muled it. I feel like I had to do that for a 9-minute drive because you didn't have those opportunities to run back to the room or, I forgot something. Well, it's just there. It's at the hotel. So I think that was something that I got out of it is definitely I will pay the money. Luckily, because of the networking, I hope to probably have a roommate next year, and that might help too.
We should all get a suite.
Yay!
Yes.
I think,
We'll sleep on the couch. It'll be
We should
$10
rent out a
less.
whole floor. A whole floor.
Yes.
I do have a legitimate complaint that I feel like as a volunteer EMT and fireman was a hazard at the event. And Brooke, I don't know if you remember this, but coming down the escalator on the last event, everybody was coming down for the final keynote and they had the doors shut so people couldn't get in. And we were coming down the escalator and there were so many people at the bottom. I'm on the phone with a friend of mine saying, oh no, I don't know how we're going to get in. There's all these people at the bottom and it was backing up and we've got an escalator of people coming behind us and the escalator.
They were literally getting thrown out into the crowd. I mean, it was just nuts.
Yeah, they were not moving for people to get off the escalator, and you couldn't see when you got on the escalator.
Where
You couldn't
was
say,
I?
"Oh, you should have seen it." You couldn't. You got on the escalator, you got halfway down, then you could see there's a crowd, and how are you going to get off the escalator? They should have opened those doors. They should have seen that was a problem, and it was a big problem. I mean, I'm little. I could easily get knocked down and trampled. So, yeah, I also was able to squeeze around.
Mm-hmm.
We got
I
out of the
wonder
way.
how much of this stuff slipped through the cracks because Daryl wasn't there too. I mean, he's a huge driver of this summit, so I feel like definitely, you know, if it were my show, so to say, you would hate to be in bed, not being like stuff would slip through the cracks. This is your baby, so I feel like I wonder how much stuff happened like that because he wasn't there. I don't know.
I think the after party was a casualty of that. That's why hardly anyone was there. Because they didn't really do enough time. They didn't really hype up the after party like they did last year. Dale played a big role in hyping up people, letting them know that there was an after party in the first place. But like an after party is relying on the main event to push traffic there. And he said on stage, hey, it's not over yet. See you at the after party. Then he said where it is, and everyone went over there.
Well, you guys went and we stayed for the fashion show because we thought that was still going on.
And that's the problem itself. Splitting attention. Like, I would say I have two sources of feedback that I would like to give VidSummit, and it's kind of mirroring what I've said in the past. First one, I might get some pushback for this. I think VidSummit should be a 4-day event. I don't think it should be 3 days. Now, I know that would warrant a higher ticket price. I'd be willing to pay that. But with that being said, I honestly think that the logistics of there's too much overlap with key speakers that are speaking, and you want to go here, but you also want to go here, so you have to pick between the two. And I also think that if it was a 4-day summit, you have the first day be registration and the party like normal. But if it's stretched out over 3 days, they could have pockets of like maybe 30 minutes to an hour where there actually isn't anything going on. So just kind of relax, do some networking, kind of unwind and absorb the information you actually heard and just take a break. Well, you could use that to network or you could use it to take a break, but there'd be like maybe 1 or 2 moments per day where it's like, just stop and kind of gather your thoughts. Nothing's going on at this moment. And in 30 minutes to an hour, something else will be going on. So I think it should be a 4-day event. Yeah. Because another thing is some of the main speakers that people are coming to the conference for, like Roberto Blake and Nick Nimitz, they're scheduled at very odd times. Like,
sorry, Elijah. Allison, we can hear you typing quite
Sorry.
loud. Sorry, yeah. Maybe mute your microphone or something.
But
sorry, Elijah.
Some of the keynote speakers like Roberto and Nick Nimitz, like people are coming specifically for them. But Roberto is the very, very first speaker on Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning. And attendance is going to usually be maximized around noon or 11. That's when some people decide to sleep in, or some people will drive into the conference or whatever. Mm-hmm. If your main players are in the morning, I think that's a problem. I think they should be like at 1 or 2 where they'll get the maximum attendance because people are coming for them. So they can work on the logistics a little.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. I think to have him do his big creator energy talk like so early, as you say, that's like not everyone's up there, you know what I mean? Not everyone is there. So he could have been in one of the more downstairs, like the key, what do they call it? The key ballroom or exhibition hall or something as well.
Well, I don't think where he was so much of a problem. It's really just the time. Because my first year when I went, He was scheduled like at 1 or 2 o'clock. When I tell you the room he was in, there was no. I already knew it was gonna be this way, but I arrived like 15 or 20 minutes early, and I sat in the front row. And then he started speaking when it was time. And I looked around, and all the seats were taken, and some people had to stand up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
feel like that should have been the result that happened every year. Same goes for Nick, but they were scheduled at odd times, and I think that's just a missed opportunity, if you will.
I agree. I think it could have been a longer conference by another day or so, for kind of the same reasons. Now, I'm an early riser, so 8 a.m. was perfectly fine for me. But I'm also not a night owl. So those later afternoon things would have been something that I would have appreciated moved a little more in the daytime area. I'm up at 5 a.m. every morning. And so my bedtime is like a small child. But I think that if it would have been moved to an extra day and spread those out a little more. And plus, like you said, if you have 15, 20, 30 minutes between each one, you have a chance to go grab that drink or, have a little snack or something before you're running to the next event. And then you do have time to make those connections a little bit more.
Yeah.
Did you guys, who missed some sessions so you could network?
I know I missed.
I missed like 90% of them so I can network, but that was by design.
Now see, right. That's really exactly. And that's what a lot of your people were saying in the last couple of years on your panel reviews too. Elijah, people were just saying that, well, you've got the video replays. And it's fun. It's fun to get the feels. Like if it's your first time, I liked being in there and getting the feels. That feels different to watching a video. So I was selective about what I went to, but I definitely didn't hesitate to miss going to things because sometimes I went to things. Oh my goodness. Do you know what? Did you guys go to that talk? You know how in that main exhibition hall, how they were just running it on one after the other because like most of the crowd might be staying there anyway, maybe.
Yeah.
But there was one speaker who a lot of people just got up and left when she was talking. That was like quite obvious.
I think I was in that crowd.
Yeah, it was the person who was reading their notes, right? Were you in that one, Brooke?
I think so.
That was the very last.
Did you guys see that?
I remember somebody lost me, and I'm like, I can't sit here for another half an hour like this.
But that wasn't it, Brooke, because that girl that was reading, you said, we were talking about it, and you said that she was really nervous. She was young, even though she was 26. She was a young 26, and
the blonde gal.
She actually had some good things to say, and I was a little turned off by the reading of her notes as well. But we stuck it out and learned something from her.
That was her. We didn't look at on that one.
Well, honestly, I feel like this is where the organizers can really rearrange things to help in that scenario. Like, obviously, she's new to public speaking. That's her first time. There's a ladder you need to build up to. She should have been one of the first speakers this early in the morning. There aren't going to be as many people there, but that might actually help her because she needs to build up her confidence. And the main speakers can have the maximum attendees. And, she does okay this year. We'll move her further down the line next year because, she stood up there and she still did a decent job. Maybe remove the notes this time and you'll be closer to like the maximum attendee time. Like we'll have you at a 10 o'clock slot, more people, you're more confident, et cetera. I feel like there's not a stepping stone like that. And it's kind of weird because other conferences and summits this is kind of like, Melissa, this is like conference 101.
And do you know what? And she could have been in a smaller room, right?
Yes.
Much more sort of more intimate sort of space, right? Because I was just quite sort of shocked, especially because the topic was authenticity and, it was just a big jump for her. The poor thing, really. It was quite difficult, like seeing a lot of people. And I have to admit, I did leave that one because I thought she was being a little bit ironic. I thought that she started the talk by doing the notes and everything. And I thought, oh, she's about to break out of that in a minute and just be like, now, I literally thought any minute she was going to break out of it. And then I realized, oh no, she's missed kind of, putting the tech together for the teleprompter, that they were using just for their notes and things like that. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
Good. What final thoughts? Final thoughts around the table. What are people? What haven't you said yet that you want to just share with our audience just about VidSummit? Anything?
I fangirled out. How about that? I fangirled out over Mr. Beast's editor, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna ask him a question. Can I take a picture with you?" Like,
who's Mr. Beast's editor? Who's that?
His name was Roos something.
Okay.
I have a picture of him.
Okay.
Yeah, Mario Roos.
Mario Roos. Yeah.
JOOS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, I have a question. I just like turned into this little child, and again, I was like, I'm not worthy of your attention.
Oh my goodness!
But he was so sweet, and he was just lovely, and he's like, so how are you? And I'm like, I'm good. I couldn't even talk. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Knock it off.
What about that MC guy just telling us all the time that this isn't a fan event? He just kept on going, this isn't a fan event. What did you think of that? I'm just like, dude, here you are telling us that you've been a big swinging dick,
Right.
at a New York design firm, and you had all these people underneath you and all the pressure that was on your shoulders, and you've done this and you've done that. But guys, this isn't this isn't a fan event. This isn't a fan event. And guess what? So I then thought, okay, so is he just telling us not to go up to anybody? So I did. I was literally inside the Hummer. I was doing some little video because I was thinking about doing the little video. As soon as I saw Chris go, I lost my shit and went running out to Chris Doe. Chris, I've even got the video that
she left my video just hanging. I got the guy's butt the entire time because my camera was stuck on the thing.
I saw Chris Doe, and I'm just like, Alison is yesterday's news. Chris Doe, I'm running after Chris Doe. Get a photo. But that's the only person I asked. Did you guys ask anyone for like pictures or interviews?
Yeah, I got the picture with Mr. B's editor.
Yeah, man.
Nobody knows who he is, and I don't care. I love it.
And I came in after her with my phone saying, can I ask you some questions for some YouTubers who aren't here but are my friends? They have some questions. Click my button. And I got the answers.
Who was that?
That same person, when she's like, oh, can I have my picture? And then I'm like, can I have an answer?
Yeah.
I was able to send my video or audio to the two people who had questions. As far as a comment about the conference, I just have to say I was really shocked by the 80-20. 80% of your time is spent on your thumbnail, your content, and your title. 20%, and 20% is on your editing and filming. And since I spend 40 hours editing, sorry about my dog, that was an eye-opener. But it is true in writing too. If you look at, when you write a book, it's the same thing. You got to spend all that time in your content editing.
Well, I don't think the way that you've been doing it has hurt your channel, Melissa.
No.
Right?
Well, kind of it has, because I now work full time for the university and I don't have 40 hours to put out a video once a month. And my husband hates editing videos, so it killed my channel, not being able to do it faster. So, channel number 2, Alaska Tales, will be different than Wyoming Jeepers.
Well, I, for one, can't wait. And Kelly, I want to get your channel too. I'll get all your channels, and maybe we'll just say it one more time. I got Kelly. What's your channel again?
It's Mug Life.
Mug Life.
Yes,
kind of like Mug Life, but for moms.
I haven't been able to get into the chat, so if anybody's been, I've seen some people that I've been wanting to chat to, and I can't get into the chat, so that sucked. Maybe that'll get better.
Maybe that's because did you need to link the channel or something?
Yeah,
like that?
I tried a few times. It wouldn't let me in.
Yeah,
so.
It didn't let me either.
Oh, it didn't. Okay.
I'll definitely post up the channels in the description.
That's why we couldn't answer.
Yeah.
So
and so, Kelly, you haven't put any videos up yet, have you, Kelly?
No, I am hoping that this Sunday will be my first, so all of you come watch. It'll be horrible, but it'll be fun. We'll do it anyway. And you probably saw the little fluffy-headed blonde come in here. That is my co-helper. So she is the reason I'm doing it, because she is very outgoing and loves it. So we thought it would be fun to bring that life to other people. So
Nice.
I don't think it's going to be horrible, Kelly. I mean, you've got on a live stream, and live streaming is harder than making a video. So the fact that you got on this live stream already shows you're going to make an awesome video.
well, I appreciate that. Y'all made it so fun and so easy, and I'm so excited to get to be a part of it.
I loved meeting you, Kelly, and I just loved how we just kept on going on the Hoover app. And then you just said to me, "I've got the blue ribbon. I've got the hat with the blue ribbon," or something like that. And we just found each other straight away. So that was a good strategy.
I brought. There you go. There we go. Now,
wow.
Now I'm official. This is me.
This is you. This is you, girl. This is you stepping into all the cool things that's about to happen for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
My final remarks would just say, if you're coming to VidSummit, have a game plan. That's my biggest regret from when I first came my first year. Didn't really have a game plan. That's what motivated me to start reviewing it on YouTube. But I think that there is enough content out there, including what you've heard on this show, to help you put together a game plan and really maximize your time at VidSummit, whether it be watching the presentations or networking and just having the experience. So put together that game plan, go there with the intent of making connections, and see what happens. You won't be disappointed.
How do you make a game plan if you've never been there before?
By watching this.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea.
I actually went and did a lot of research because, like I said before, I kind of got into this a little differently than everyone else. I was lucky enough to be, or blessed enough to be invited. And
invite us next time, would you, Kelly? Jeez.
I'll ask them if we can just all come as a group next year.
No, don't ask them. Better to ask for forgiveness. We'll just
You do have to share the story who invited you and how that came about. That's really
so I work I don't know if you all heard, but I live in Waco, Texas, and I work for a pretty famous couple there, and I work in their hotel. I help with marketing and retail and online sales. I have the privilege of meeting a lot of people, and I got to meet and spend time with Daryl Eves. And so he actually invited me personally to the event. And then, of course, he couldn't be there because he was sick. But while I was there, I even got to meet with some of their team. We set up a meeting. So I did actually miss some of the sessions because I was meeting with them. I felt like that was a good cause. But that's how I got into it. And I'm so glad that I did. It was something that was very eye-opening for me as a new creator, and in marketing. It did help with my marketing side as well. But it was a great experience. I'm excited and ready to go next year, and half of my staff wants to go with me. So just from hearing what I had to say about it. So
Kelly, I got to say this because I think it's a massive opportunity. Since you've talked to Daryl, maybe just put it out there. I have some friends that would love to attend the event, and you could share that you have, the marketing team. Do you have an affiliate link? I would love for us to make money together and put it out there. And if he says yes, that'll stream income for you. I'm the king of side hustle, so my mind instantly thinks,
I love it.
I have to share.
Yeah.
Well, when we were talking about your connections and if you kept up with people and stuff, I feel like I'm pretty blessed in the fact that Daryl and several members of his team we're connected and email and text each other a little here and there. And so it's kind of nice to have had that connection. Do what?
You can just send us some screenshots if you want.
Okay. Yeah. So you can all fangirl and guy. And
I'll just take it to heart. I don't need to fangirl. Tell me what you know.
I know. I feel like I want to just soak in everything they have to tell me. Just give me the information. So.
Yeah, but just for you watching at home, like this is what we've got. We've got Kelly, who just because of who she is. So Daryl extended a really generous, kind hand. And you said he's such a nice person, didn't you, Kelly? I mean, that comes across, actually.
No, he's
videos.
Genuinely, he was just one of the kindest people. And I really felt like he actually cared about me and my journey. And we really didn't even talk much about it. He just wanted to give me that leg up, I guess. And really just, he was just a really kind person. And what you see, I feel like, is who he is. Yep.
I really feel that too. But see, then we've just got this whole mix of all of us. So, when we talk about who are we going to keep in contact with and who do we know now, and just all the returns on investment. I mean, even if we just look at this here, and we've just been sharing with everyone sort of in our chat and who's been spending time with us tonight, but it's like, this is what we're doing. Like, we're meeting up with people and we're having conversations, and, we're going to be checking out each other's channels and everything like that. So, that's pretty cool.
Talk to
all right, guys. Did we?
Day. Nice.
Yeah. Susan, you're going to have to come. You're going to have to come. We've got a year's notice. Because what's the date next year? What is the date? Who's got that handy at their fingertips? Yeah, it is. It is, because we were getting a $100 discount if we got into the early bird tickets.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I took my mic off because of the barking dog. I think it's like the 29th, 30th, and October 1st. So September.
Oh, it is? It's not over October 9th this year?
October 1st.
No.
Oh, well, I'll have to celebrate my birthday by myself.
It's my 40th anniversary on the 30th.
Well, I
Okay.
turned 59.
You'll be celebrating your anniversary with me.
Yes, we'll do it with you. There'll be 20 of us.
Exactly.
And your husband is going to say, I didn't picture this. I have to say.
Well, I just
cheersing to your anniversary right now.
I just see it here for the first time. Susan is coming. Does that mean Susan's taking one of the beds?
Yes, it does. It does.
Okay.
Yep. And we're all going to take a floor in the Western, all of that.
Okay.
Okay. Anything final from anybody before we close out? Hello, One Victoria.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
I just say do it. I just say if you want to go, go. You've got a year's heads up. Start saving for it. If just start planning for it. But okay, here's one little tip I have to say. What I do is when I really want to do something, I just start using that event as one of my passwords at work. Actually, it's my work entry password or my work thing. And I will just put, like last year when I went to the perfume conference in New York, I just literally put it down at the beginning of the year. I just made it my work password. So every single day I had to type that in. And this year, I actually thought I just put New York something 2025, just because I thought, there might be something I want to go to. But as soon as this came up, I thought, this is it. But just in my mind, I started socializing it with myself and just started, I don't know, in a way manifesting it, and just instead of it being just something beyond my reach, I just started being like, well, I want to go to that. How can I get to that? And I'm just going to keep on thinking about it and all of that. So there's my final little closeout tip. Anyone else?
I'm going to be trying to hack your passwords from now on.
Yeah. Well, I've definitely got VidSummit. I've definitely got VidSummit 2026.
New York.
I've got VidSummit 2026. Yeah, that's my new password actually. So, anything from anyone? Melissa, Elijah, Kelly, finals?
I like I said, I've said it before. I think this was one of the, as far as a business professional, and I've been to other business conferences, which they tried to make this very clear. It was a business type of conference, not for fans. It was probably my favorite business conference. I think everybody there was wanting to know who you were, wanted to know what your goals were, your plans were, and wanted you to succeed. I didn't have anyone that I met or spoke to that I didn't truly feel like they wanted me to succeed. And so in turn, of course, you wanted them to succeed it well as well. So I loved that about the conference. If you have the means to get there and you are in YouTube or in any of that or marketing, I think it's very beneficial.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
That's it. We're all good. Nothing from you, Elijah? Final?
Well,
Please, and please do mention as well that you've got a review that you've just done recently as well, so people can see that, because that's even more deep perspectives, and you had a lot of people on your panel.
sure. So the VidSummit review, it'll actually pop up if you Google VidSummit Review 2025, but it's on the Side Hustler Society. Just click on the live stream tab and you'll see the VidSummit review. Yeah, we went pretty heavy into not so much the pros and cons this year, because we put that out there last year and that information is still relevant, but how can you really leverage VidSummit to really get the most out of it? And people got a lot of value out of that, so feel free to check that out. As far as like a final comment, I don't think I can get more final than kind of saying the game plan niche that I said before. So I don't want to regurgitate it. So I think that's a good closing note for me.
Nice. Yeah. What about you, Melissa? Did you pop something in before?
I couldn't pop into the chat because I can't chat.
Oh, no. But did you have anything final that you wanted to, or you might have already?
Just that 80-20. 80%, 20%.
Yeah. Gosh, that's a discipline, isn't it? Because you just kind of want to like go running into all the busyness of it. But
and suck it up and stick the hand out and shake a hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Karen.
It's not hard for me, as Brooke
What's
saw.
going on?
Never hard for
That's
me.
it.
But for those that it is hard for, suck it up. That's how you're going to meet somebody. They don't bite.
Yeah.
No.
I thought I was extroverted until I hung around Melissa, and I'm like, man, I'm a little rabbit over here. I need to break out.
And Karen helped me. I feel like she came in with we sat in one or two of the talks together. And I loved that she was like, do you have any questions for them? Let's go ask questions. Do you know?
I know. we were literally like back at high school or something, like, oh my god, famous person. Okay, let's think of a question. Do you have any questions? Should we go up? Kelly's going, But
I was for it. We'll do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it all again next year.
Actually, I do have a closing note on Karen. If you want me to, I can put that review in the chat. Do you want me to do that?
Please do.
Good idea.
But my closing note, it kind of combines everything y'all just said. When in doubt, just Nike that stuff.
That's it.
Do it.
That's it.
I love it.
What a great slogan, Nike. Good job.
If I wouldn't get sued, I would put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put everyone's channels in. So is your Wyoming Jeepers, is that still going, Melissa, or are you starting? I know you've said that you're starting a new channel, but are you still running your Wyoming Jeepers?
So the Wyoming Jeepers is going to continue, but if you are a fan of my show, you know I haven't put out a lot of videos in the last couple of years, and it's because things happen, and we added a third Jeep to our show, and that made it impossible to find a time when all 6 people could go Jeeping. So that was very hard. So it is a family show. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law are on there with my husband and I, and so we'll go back probably down to 2 Jeeps, and when the third one can join us, great. And we'll film a show every now and then, but it's more like family, which is what we started with. I'm going to focus on my new channel and just put out a few shows, maybe 1 or 2 a year on Wyoming Jeepers. And I have 3 filmed to put out.
Wow.
So I do have some more. It's just the amount of time it takes to edit a video.
Yeah.
That's down to 20% now, isn't it?
Yeah. So
Just gonna magic up some new editing.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun on our show, and people really like the chemistry between my sister-in-law and I. We laugh a lot, and we show the back roads of northern Wyoming, northwestern Wyoming by Yellowstone. So we have a book out, the Wyoming Jeeper Trail Guide, that matches it. So we go down the roads on the back roads here. One time I counted how many times we stopped, and the people that were in the vehicle who flagged us down knew us. We had 13 vehicles in a row. We see our fans out on the roads all the time.
Wow.
So we enjoy that. And we're recognized by our voices in stores before we ever get around the corner. If we're standing in line, people, I know that voice. So that's
Funny.
fun. And so we're sorry that we can't put more shows out, but
Yeah.
my husband doesn't like to edit them, and I'm the one that does the editing, and the other two don't know how to do that. So it limits it.
Yeah. Sure does.
Love the show. Going to start one that's a little easier to edit and is hopefully going to be profitable and matches my books that I write so that it's more than just a Jeep show. Although my
Amazing.
favorite thing to do in the world is record Jeeps. Love it.
Record Jeeps.
I love to record Jeeps going by on obstacles.
Are you joking?
No, I mean it. That's my
Okay.
favorite thing. I love to
Wow.
get that tire just right on that rock before it comes down and wham. Yeah,
That's
I'm sorry. That's
hilarious.
what I love to do.
That is hilarious.
But I
All
also
right.
love to tell a story. And just like somebody said, name 3 things. You went and asked somebody about, what are the 3 things about them? Well, I asked ChatGPT 3 things about me. And the number one thing it came up with about me is I'm a storyteller. And that's what I do for a living. I walk around with a mic and in particular, I focus on seniors, and I provide education for seniors, and especially on mental health. And so I tell a lot of stories. So it was interesting that ChatGPT, number 1 was storytelling, number 2 was branding and logoing, and number 3 was being strategic. So those are the 3 things that ChatGPT said about me.
Yeah, nice.
Well,
All right.
ChatGPT can't be wrong.
No.
Yes, it can be, but it did get the storytelling right.
Yeah. That's incredible that your job, you utilize the skills that you've got,
Mm-hmm.
in your channel and
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I talk for a living.
Yeah.
I literally talk for a living.
Yeah. It's amazing that your voice doesn't wear out a little bit.
It does. So I
Does
have
it?
to use a microphone. I have MS and it affects my throat muscles. So I have to have a mic.
Yep.
Luckily, I have one right here. But yeah, I have to use a mic.
All right. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you, all you beautiful creators. And we'll see each other around now because we just know each other just that little bit better now. Don't we?
It was great. Go check out your channels.
Nice. All right.
Yeah,
okay,
for
guys.
sure.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
guys.
Have an
Thank you
amazing
so
rest of your
much.
day. and
Bye.
night.
Thanks for having
See
me.
you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye,
Yeah.
everybody. How do we exit?